go. It's Tuesday. We all know what happens on Tuesday. It's the day that we talk about all the week's collection of fuckery. And today, my lovely cousin, I'm going to do as many as I can. Child, why did she put in here? I think it's like 12 or 13. I mean, it's like a lot. Look how thick this is. This is like a lot. I hope my voice can hold up because, usually it starts fading out after around 10 letters. So we'll see how this goes. But for those of you who do not know where you are, this is the Debsterism channel. We're broadcasting, well, streaming or whatever they call it, on Twitch TV, on YouTube, and on YouNow. And so we all over the place here. And what we do on Tuesdays is what's called What the Fuck Tuesday. Because I go over some of the advice questions that have been submitted for response to my lovely advice column, something I've been doing since the early 1990s, providing relationship advice to singles and couples and teens and adults. I think I'm pretty good at it. So at this point, I don't even really need to think about it too much. I read the questions, I give a response, and I mean, sometimes it's crazy, but most of the time, even if it's funny, the information I'm giving you is still really good and solid information. It augments all the information that you can find on this channel and here on YouTube, as well as on my blog, survivingdating.com. So if you prefer to read articles, sometimes just go on over there. It's about 500 or 600 different articles you can read. And then there's about 400 and some odd, going on 500 videos on this channel here on YouTube. So between them two locations, I can keep your ass busy for a good year. So you don't have to worry about what you might not know about relationships. And if it's something I haven't talked about already, believe me, it's on the agenda. Hey everybody, wow, we got somebody from Canada. My little girl was here from France yesterday, up at 3 something in the morning, because the time difference. She sets her alarm to make sure she wakes up so she can catch the live stream. That is a dedicated follower, and I have to give her credit because I don't think I could do it. 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd be like, so she's good. All right, so here we go. We're gonna start with letter number one and roll through these to the best as the best of our ability. You guys are welcome to make your comments about the letters that come. Hey, Don is here. You guys are welcome to make your comments in the chat. Please watch what you say. Be respectful to the other chatters, and do not mention any channels, names, or people by name. You can use general, this person, this woman, this dude, something like that. But we try to avoid naming people because I don't want no problems. Okay, I don't want no problems from nobody. So let's go. Question number one. I think, did Eddie get a new job? I could have sworn they said he got a new job. Okay, this young lady is in the 19 to 26-year-old age group. She says, hello, Miss Deb. I'm a 19-year-old black female college student. I have a few questions that have been on my mind for a while now. A month ago, I started my very first job. Oh, Popcorn is back? Oh, see, she was just here last night. Yeah, she was from 3 o'clock in the morning over there. I was excited and nervous at the same time, so I found comfort in finding a friend and a coworker. However, my feeling has changed. This wouldn't be the first time someone was into me, but some of the questions he has asked me so far have been so odd and creepy that I now try to avoid him. Not only is he a 26-year-old man asking a young girl about her dating life and her quote needs, see, but he also has to bring race into the equation. He has asked me if I date black guys or white guys, and has expressed that he doesn't like white girls and that he only dates black girls. So my questions to you are, number one, is it common for someone, regardless of race, to ask you about your racial preferences and express their own? Question new two. This question branches from question one. Is this some sort of game people like to play? And number three, what should I do in a situation where people ask me these kinds of questions? Any advice is greatly appreciated, and don't worry, I'm going to report them to HR. Okay, well, so I don't even have to talk about that, and she's probably already done it because this letter came in, last week. Okay, now remember when I talked about, I did that whole video on how young black women are the number one target for males on jobs for sexual harassment? Perfect example. 19, 20 to 23, that range there is the number one age group that they go after. So let me explain to you how you conduct yourself. Since this is your very first job, I'm not blaming you. So don't take my words to be a criticism of you. This is education for you. Okay. I've been in the corporate world since I was 16 years old. And I'm gonna tell you this right here is some bullshit. So let me tell you how you shut this down. Okay, so you're excited, so you friendly with this guy on the job. Number one, don't be too friendly with anybody on your jobs when you're new. Be the same amount of friendliness to everyone, which basically means cordial. You say hello, you say good morning, what did you have to do over the weekend, this kind of stuff. But you do it with everybody, okay? There should not be one person that you're focusing on. Number two, he's asking you creepy, weird, sexually oriented questions. So once he asks you about your dating life and your quote needs, which you didn't really say. I wish you would have told me what he said so I could have given you some exact responses. But okay, let's go with what you did say. You said he asked if you date black guys or white guys. You are supposed to say anything that he says along those lines. He doesn't like white girls, he only dates black girls. You say, what does that have to do with our work assignments? Okay, so that's going to cause him to pause and think, okay, what am I doing and why am I doing it and why am I saying it without you even saying anything? Okay, now if he doesn't get it, then the next thing you say is, I'm not comfortable talking about these kinds of personal issues with a coworker at my place of employment. Okay, so you're putting up another boundary. You see what I'm saying? You have to put up boundaries. This also helps you when you do go to HR, because if he keeps on persisting in this behavior after you've put up these boundaries and expressed to him how inappropriate this behavior is, then you have more grounds to stand on. It lends more strength to your complaint. So then if he says things like, whatever these needs are, which you vaguely referenced, and I noticed you kind of left that out, then what you have to do is say, let me stop you right now. This conversation is going in a direction that I'm really uncomfortable with. This to me is inappropriate conversation. I don't want you to talk to me about these kinds of things. It has nothing to do with my employment here, and I want you to stop. Okay, so you say that. You use the word no, stop. I don't want this. This is offensive to me. This is inappropriate to me. Those kind of terms you have to work into the conversation. Then you make notations when you get back to your desk or whatever. You make notations of the date and the time that this conversation, what he said, what you said in response, while it's fresh in your mind. So these are the kind of things you set up so that this is a pattern of behavior with this gentleman. When you go to HR, you give them that paper, which of course you've politely stored on your computer and emailed to yourself on your Gmail account. Like I told y'all, you always keep a copy of your stuff off site, off their computers. And so that you have your documentation should you need it, because he might say, well, it was, she seemed to be into it, this and that, blah blah blah, but you have your series of comments that you've made that show that that's not the case. So now to respond to your question, is it common for someone to ask you about your racial preferences and express their own? No, it is not. Only if he's interested in dating you, but see, to ask you that just right off the cuff without really any prefaces prefacing it about asking you out and all this kind of stuff is inappropriate. The fact that if he asked you out and you said yes, that should answer that question for his dumb stupid ass. Okay, question number two. Is this some sort of game that people like to play? This is called the get some pussy from the new girl who's too dumb and young to know any difference kind of game. And you will run into this from men of all ages on your jobs because, like I said, you're young and you're black and you're probably cute. Okay, so you got the trifecta that's going to be just drawing knuckleheads to you, unfortunately. Number three, what should you do in a situation where people ask you these kind of questions? I already expressed that answer. So those are what you do. Your main goal is boundaries. No, inappropriate. Stop. I'm uncomfortable. I don't want you to do this. Those kind of words are the things that you need to work in a conversation. Even if so far as if you need to walk away from him while he's talking, whatever you need to do, there's no limit to what you do to make him stop. And avoiding him is wonderful. That's a great thing to do. He ought to get a fucking clue. And at 26, he's too old to be acting like that. All right. All right. Yeah, I keep documentation, honey. Ooh wee. Yeah, he needs to get. He needs to be at least. I mean, he hasn't touched her and he hasn't said anything profane. At least is what she said here. I'm kind of concerned about that. Needs question though, and I know that she glossed over that, but that it's a big question mark in my mind. So he's thinking he just gonna slide up into some booty, but I'm like, motherfucker, got me making my Kermit face. Okay, question number two. Question number two. My girlfriend of 18 months has an extremely bizarre relationship with her father. This is a guy who's 32 years old. Okay, she says she's 28 and her dad is 54. He treats her like a best friend. He'll call her at midnight, begging her to meet him at the bar. When she refuses, he gets angry and starts saying really nasty things to her like, "I'm really disappointed in you as a father," or "I can't believe I raised such a selfish, crappy daughter." It's all mind game to make her feel guilty. He shows up at our apartment completely wasted and demands that we come out with him to the bar. I tell him I'm not going to the bar with you, and he gets pissed and starts telling my girlfriend, who is his daughter, to leave me at home and come to the bar with him. He'll call her on the phone until she picks up, sometimes literally a dozen times in a row. At first, I was tolerant, but now I'm really getting sick of it. I brought it up a couple of weeks ago and she became really upset. She said that her dad is a good guy and just going through a hard time since the divorce, even though the divorce was 7 years ago. I talked to one of her friends about it, and she told me that two of my girlfriend's past boyfriends broke up with her because of her father. I really don't want to end it, but I don't know what else I can do. Have you ever heard of anything like this? Is this something I don't have any control over other than breaking up with her? No, sir, you have a lot of control here. Let me explain this to you. Um, okay, you two obviously live together. Okay, that's your motherfucking house. So you need to man the fuck up and stop acting like you some kind of little punk bitch man, letting your girlfriend be the one to have to run interference with her crazy ass codependent father. Obviously, there's some issues here. Now, where my mind went straight to the fact that he was a sexually abusive motherfucker, and so now she's sitting up there, as an adult, still listening to what he's talking about. Him trying to, control his daughter like that and take her away from her man to be with him. See, that's some unsavory. That got an unsavory flavor to it, like he's a jealous lover kind of thing. See, I'm not really feeling that at all, and that sounds like some childhood sexual abuse was at play. So what you need to do, be a fucking man, and you go somewhere and you meet that daddy and you say, "Look here, motherfucker, this is how it's gonna be. You're not gonna call my house after 8 o'clock. You're not gonna call more than once. And if my woman tells you she don't want to go out drinking with your ass, then you need to accept it. Get yourself some friends in their 50s, some men to be friends with, and stop bugging the fuck out of your daughter. She's a girl, and she has a man, and her man ain't you. That's what you need to straight tell him. I don't know why y'all run scared from these weird ass men. And then in her dumb ass, okay, he keeps calling, but she don't know how to turn her phone off. So he can leave every voicemail till he wants to, till the voicemail gets full. If he comes to your house, ringing your doorbell and acting stupid, call the police on his ass. Because you've already told him not to do that, right? He's disturbing you and he's disturbing your neighbors. He's going to be ringing on the beating on the door and acting fool, yelling and all that stuff. Call the cops on his ass and have him arrested and carted away with his drunk ass. I bet you that, and he'll stop doing it then. Now, this is the where it's gonna become interesting though, because see, this is your house. You're supposed to be the man of the house, so you lay the ground rules for what goes on under your roof. Okay. I don't know why you giving this her trying to leave it all up to her. I don't give a shit if it is her father. You're supposed to be the man protecting her. So okay, even when she's too dumb to protect her to know what to do herself, you're supposed to step in. You don't talk to her about it and ask her about it. You say this is the shit that's gonna be happening from here on, from today forward. This motherfucker's not calling. This motherfucker's not coming here, and you're not gonna go out drinking with him. If we both go, then you don't go. And I'm not gonna be going out with him all the time. This is ridiculous. So this comes time, for you to step up. Okay, this is come time you step up. You have a conversation with that dad and say, "Look here, your woman left your ass 7 years ago, and this I can see why she did it because you're a dumb fuck. So you go and find you some adult male friends. Don't you come to my house with this bullshit, and don't you bother my woman with this bullshit. I don't give a shit if she is your daughter. She's a grown woman now. She's not a child, and she's not gonna be running around being your playmate." Okay, get you some buddies, drinking buddies. That's what you need. So go do that and get the fuck off my phone and stay away from my fucking house. That's what you do. Oh my God. It's like, how can I be more of a man than these women? I mean, he's more of a man than these dudes. And I'm a woman. You don't have no kind of spine, no kind of boundaries, I mean, that's your goddamn house. You know what I mean? That's your woman. You're supposed to be stepping up to protect her. You supposed to been put her daddy in check. Her other two boyfriends was too punk bitchy to do it, so you do it. This is just ridiculous. I never heard of such shit. And so, of course she gonna get upset because she's torn. She's torn. But that's when you step up. All right, let's do question number 3. This is a young lady, 25 to 35, living in Los Angeles, California. She says, I reached out to my boyfriend's ex after seeing a text conversation where she's asking him to help, seeking him for car help, feeling sick, and even inviting him to hang out at church with her. That's your boyfriend's ex. They have a daughter together, so they must have regular communication. When I reached out to her, I asked if there was something going on between them, and she left, as he left me once for her a year ago, so my insecurities are high. Wait a minute. He left you to go back to his ex and you went back with him? Okay, what's wrong with you? I just have to stop right here. This man tells you to your face he's going back to some other woman that he used to be with, and then when that don't work out, then you accept him back. That motherfucker would be hitchhiking to Timbuktu if he be waiting on me to get back with him. You're not gonna leave me and go to some other bitch and then think you're gonna be coming back. You have no pride, lady. You have no self-respect. This is terrible. This is terrible, terrible, terrible. So let's go on. She said that when he goes to drop off their daughter, he'll ask her to move in with him so he can leave me. That way he doesn't have to pay child support. She also sent me a video recording a small argument between them two when she was picking up their daughter, and you can hear him angrily asking her who she was with over and over. I confronted my boyfriend with the video and the conversation I was having with her. He denied it, said none of that was true, that she's the one who looks for him and tries to seduce him over Snapchat and blah, blah, blah. Okay, she trying to break us up, blah, 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 blah. He left this weekend because he had a planned trip with his guy friends, but before he left, he was trying to convince me that he wanted to be here with his family, but didn't say anything that I could believe him. He hasn't called me or texted me since he's been gone. And he left mad, calling me an arrogant ass because I told him I was done and didn't want to continue such a toxic relationship. He said, so you're going to let some dumb blank ruin us? I told him I was leaving him not today or tomorrow, but my next move was to leave the house. And that's when he took off calling me arrogant. Help me, please. I wish I could believe him. I even texted his sister, who is good friends with the ex, and she believes that I shouldn't believe her because she just might want to break us up. He says he's not trying to beg me to believe because he knows he didn't do anything wrong. Please help me. Okay, what I got to say? No matter what the motherfucker says, you have a recording of him asking some other bitch who is she with. Why would he give a shit who she's fucking? Now, out of everything that you said, all the rest of it is conjecture. That is factual. That's a recording. Now, even though he may say it's nothing, the fact that those words came from his mouth, Why are you even worried about what's going on with her pussy with some other dude? What's that about? So, see, to me, that is the core of the issue here. No matter what you can prove, no matter what he talked about, no matter anything else, the fact that he's worrying about what goes on with her vagina, and it's supposed to be your man, tells me that's where his head is. And if you don't believe me, look at that video I have about Mid's first loves. They'll never get over the first loves. So you come along afterwards, you're going to have to settle for the sloppy seconds. And in this particular case, he's still involved with the woman, still trying to get at the woman, still worrying about who's screwing the woman. His heart is still over there. All you have is his body. Cause he ain't too worried about you calling you names and all this old shit. But what he's worried about who's fucking her. That means he's still jealous, and that means that's where his emotional connection is still with her. Otherwise, he wouldn't give a shit what's going on with her. He would be happy somebody was tapping it, because then that would keep her off of his. That would make her happy, and she would leave him alone. So you in the 25 to 35 age group. I'm assuming that you probably on the lower end of that, because if you were older, I think you would know better. But you don't really need to tell him that you're leaving. You just need to go. There's nothing here that makes any sense. He already left you for this woman once, and then he's still worrying about who's screwing her. So, see, that's all I need to know. Those are the 2 points of contention here, and that's all there is, and there ain't no more. You wasting your time calling yourself in a relationship with this man. Move on. Question number 4. Well, he may not still be sleeping with her, but he still wants to. So, that all is dependent upon her. We can't say what he's doing. What we do know is that he still has feelings for her, and he's still worried about who's screwing her. So whether he's still tapping it or not is irrelevant. What it is though he still wants to be. And that's what I'm talking about. His heart is still there. So question number 4. She's a female, 36 to 45 in Illinois. I'm a 42-year-old successful divorced woman. I've been divorced for 5 years, actively dating for 2 years. I met a guy 50 who I finally slept with, and it was incredible every time. A little on the freaky side, but enough where I simply have a sigh of regret when I think about him. He didn't value me the way I wanted, and I could no longer be involved with what was apparently only a FWB situation. I know I was played like a fiddle and went down a rabbit hole. The problem isn't with him wanting him back, but I'm very sad that I'm not sure I'll be able to find a long term relationship that has that type of heat. The last time I saw him 9 months ago, I was furious with the fact that he was such a dick and stormed out as if I were a child not getting to keep her favorite toy all to herself. I'm faced with several options of other relationships, but none provide the possible intense heat of that one. Does it exist somewhere? Should I hold out for hope? Should I run from it? Everyone else seems boring, and I can't even consider wanting to sleep or touch anyone else. I can't have him, don't want to settle for less than what fires me up. Okay, you looking for a relationship with the wrong part of your body. For you to be 42, you kind of acting young. Now, okay, you know the man is a fool. Okay, you already know that. He's a 50-year-old fuck up. And because he, turned you out in the bed, you still looking for that. Don't you understand that as we go through life, there are compromises. You never gonna find a man with everything. And he's either gonna be good in bed, and he's gonna be a fuck up, useless piece of shit, or he's gonna be kind of medium, and you know what I mean. The magic can happen, and maybe not fireworks and you know what you call them, rockets and all that old stuff. But he gets the job done. You love him. There's mutual respect. Everything's good. Or he's just a fabulous man, but you're not the least bit sexually attracted to him at all. Okay, it's always one of them three combinations. My thing is, you got the first one. You got the sparks and fireworks in the bed, and it ain't shit, nigga, the rest of the time. And you sitting here writing me a whole letter, come talking about how you still want that. And at 42, shouldn't you have learned that that's not going to happen? You're going to either get that, or you're going to get one of the other two things that I said. So once you wrap your mind around that reality, then you be all right. Most women go for the guy in the middle. He's satisfying. He can be worked with. You can, over a period of time, you can hit them rockets and all that stuff, because, you learn each other's bodies and whatnot. You get more comfortable, more relaxed, and more magic happens more often. But you got to look for the basics in a man, because if you don't have that foundational dude that you can respect and admire, and who respects and admires you, that has similar values, a similar outlook on life, similar morals, similar goals for his life, similar family, dynamics and stuff, that you guys are comfortable mixing and mingling with each other's families, then you have nothing. You're just going to be wasting your time. I'm trying to tell you. So I'm looking at this and I'm shocked that you are as old as you are, and you don't know this. I'm trying to, maybe you got kind of stuck because you were um married. I don't You don't say for how long, but you've been divorced for 5 years, dating for 2 years. Um you should have learned something from your marriage about men and this kind of stuff. You can enjoy what you're supposed to do in your 40s is just, be a fuck around. I mean, fuck around. That's where, you just have like, just hot to trot. You get that done, but you do not put any emotions in it, and you don't give a shit about it. It's just community dick. That's how he got so good in bed, because he fucked a lot. So you trying to put, you putting too much on it. Talking about where you wanted it, it was only a FWB situation. What you think it was gonna be? That's all he just. I mean, that's what them kind of dudes do. That's how you think they got so good in bed. It wasn't because he been married and exploring with his wife. He's a fuck around. This community dick. And you trying to complain about you want somebody with community dick skills, and that's a solid dude that's focused on work and advancement, and his spirituality, and well read and educated and all that stuff. That doesn't happen like that. So good luck with that situation. I'm trying to tell you how you gonna do. So you figure it out. You gonna settle for one of them three dudes, and depending on what phase of life you're in as a woman, different times call for different. I mean, different things are gonna be, what you need. So you need to figure out which one you like, and then you go for that, and don't complain when you don't have the other components. Oh my God, yes, we're gonna talk about that in a minute, because I did see one of these letters somebody was talking about. I don't know which one. Okay. Oh God, how long is this shit? Okay, I'm gonna be skimming over this. This is question number 5. Well, no, it probably was okay. She's been divorced 5 years, so see, since she's been divorced, she hit her 40s. I'm telling you, it's like you have flames in your drawers. It's just terrible. Just want to just fuck everything. It's just awful. So I understand where she is, but I'm just saying, she need to wrap her mind around the fact that you don't have a relationship with that. That's just for fun. That's not the kind of man that you marry. That's not the kind of man you try to form a family with. You don't do that. That's dumb. That's what you do. You screw it and then you leave it over there. And then you go and you find yourself a man who's dude number 2, behind door number 2. All right. Question number 5. She's 26 to 35 age group as well. My ex and I were together for the better part of 4 years. The first 3 years were heaven. He showed me that not all guys are the same. Blah, blah, blah. I felt like he was the one until he met Jackie. Okay, first of all, let me say something. Every woman I've ever met named Jackie is trouble. They always get in between some shit and fuck up some shit. Always. I don't know what it is about that name. Oh yeah, somebody was asking me, "Oh, I want to see what your hair looks like." I forgot. So my cousin was twisting my hair, and then she left this part out. So see what I was talking about how it's stretched out? This is stretched, and that's how long it is. So for everybody who always, that's as much as you going to see in my hair. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do anything else with it. And if you missed it, oh well. All right, so let's see. Jackie was his friend from class. We were both in our late 20s, okay. In grad school, he shared so much in common with her: interests, hobbies, music. I felt like I was losing him to her. He called me Jackie once. He had a pet name for her as a contact on his phone, and I was just my name. So I foolishly dragged the relationship on, even though he emotionally checked out. It was obvious he didn't want to be with me anymore. She stole my spotlight. For our 4 year anniversary, he didn't say a word to me. I knew it was going to happen. I didn't want to accept it. A month later, I wrote him a letter about the way he's treating me. And his response was, I didn't want to do this, but I feel like you deserve the truth. I just don't have the same feelings for you I had for you before. The spark we had is gone. It's not your fault. It's just me. I'm not feeling any need to commit right now. I don't believe in marriage or kids. It's not fair to you. You want those things. I know I'm an asshole for doing this. Uh, blah, you deserve better than me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, the kiss of death. So here she goes, being a Daniel Steele novel. My world ended. He was gone, and there's nothing I could do. He vanished into thin air. It's 2 years later in 2018, and I still suffer from the emotional effects of this breakup. 4 years of my life down the drain. I mourn this loss almost daily. Oh my God. I'm telling you, we do. We need like a whole fucking, we need choirs, them voices in the background and the harps, and we need everything. Okay, yeah, 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 yeah. She went on and on and on. Now I definitely cannot move on. I found out last night from a mutual friend that his wedding was last night. His bride is the famous Jackie. The girl he told me was just a friend and nothing to worry about. Yeah, but you knew better, so why are you still talking about what he said at first? I feel so sick to my stomach. Why her and not me? He told me he didn't believe in marriage to you. So why did he marry her? Because he loved her. What does she have that I don't have? I don't know. It's not fair. Yes, it is. Why wasn't I good enough for him? Hell if I know, but you weren't. I was with him for 4 years. Wasted 4 years of your life. You don't never date a motherfucker for more than 2 years unless he's talking about marriage. Then you either get up and go, or you tell him let's get married, and he don't want to get married. Then you get up and go. Okay, there's 2 years is it. We moved in together. Dumb thing to do. And we're going to establish our life. Jackie's living the dream I always wanted to live. It's not fair. This pain is going to linger for the rest of my life. I hope she sees this one day and realizes the huge damage she's done to me. She stole my soulmate from me. I hate feeling this way. Any advice would be appreciated. How can I make the pain go away? Stab yourself. The pain you feel from that knife will usurp this pain that you imagine you have. You are a fucking drama queen. Okay, the man told you to your face that, he wasn't feeling you no more. Okay, so for you to turn around and try to blame her because he went that direction, she didn't steal nothing from you. You didn't have him. That's why y'all was just living together, shacking up, playing house. He wasn't trying to marry you. That's the thing. You have all these fantasies in your mind about this life that you think you was gonna live with this dude, and he straight told you that it's not gonna happen. And it is fair. What you think that you like this the EEOC and you deserve some shit just like these men think they deserve a woman just because they want to? You think because you dated him for 4 years he owes you some shit? I keep telling you, that's why people date. They date to find out if they want to continue to be with you. Okay, most of the time you find out that the person is, either crazy, they ain't shit, or some wacko shit about them or their family, or some weird ideas they have, or some strange proclivities that you don't want to be bothered with, and so then you break up with them. That's why we date. Okay, that's what dating is for. So you talking about the pain's gonna linger the rest of your life. You are fucking just a drama queen for real. And you hope she sees this one day. She's even if she does, all she's gonna do is laugh at you because you're just doing too much. You're doing the most as far as being ridiculous and talking about some shit happened 2 years ago, and you still whining about it. The man is married. Okay, it's time for you to get over this and move the fuck on. He's not gonna ever come back to you. He don't give a shit about you. She don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about you because you're crazy. This doesn't make any damn sense. Grow the fuck up. Grow up. Yeah, just like a fucking stalker and sitting up there talking about, this is gonna be. I think about this the rest of my life. If you do some shit like that, you're dumb. You need to go see a shrink. Yeah, I know, because I know so many Jackies and all of them ain't shit. Not one of them is worth 2 cents on credit. She don't want, because then she'll be mad at the animal if somebody else, that goes over there for somebody else to pet it or something. She'll be like, oh my God, my dog, betrayed me. It didn't want me. It didn't love me the most. Oh my God. Yeah, all this time she could have been with 10 men in that much time, 2 years. I mean, you know what I mean? You just go on a date or a couple of dates or whatever. I mean, I'm not talking about you have a full fledged relationship, but she's not doing anything to move her, advance her life. She just looking behind her. And I keep telling people, you know, you can only look in one direction. You're either gonna look forward, and when you're looking forward, you can run. You can jump over hurdles. You can go move around shit. You know, go dive under stuff. You can make it happen when you look forward. Now you looking back, you have to stand still. You're not moving. You're not progressing. You're not advancing. You're not doing any changing. You're not growing. You're not doing anything. You're standing still, looking at what already happened and wishing it were different. And it's never going to be different. Stop wasting your time on the past. Yeah, she kind of wacko. That's what I'm thinking. Dude probably was like, tried to break it off real gently because he didn't want her to snap. You know what I mean? Because he was like blaming himself. Did you notice that? Everything, he took full responsibility for everything. And I'm thinking because he knew she was a whack job. But girlfriend, people write to me and they, sometimes they do get their feelings hurt. I'm sure you're gonna be one of them today. But this is the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard of for you to be this old. This is some shit like a 16-year-old girl would write. Oh, my heart is so broken. Blah, blah, blah. You're some emotional stunting thing going on with you, and you need to get over it. I'm really advising seriously that you see a shrink because you need some help that I in this format am not prepared to give you. This makes no sense. Yeah, stay away from anybody named Jackie. If you got a friend named Jackie and you got a girl, you got a man, you better leave her, keep her away from your dude. All right, we on question number 6. Woo, Lordy. She's in the 26 to 35 age group, writing from Hawaii. I've been dating a high ranking military man for 6 months. He requested that we be exclusive pretty quickly, 1 month in. He's the only man I've been with since my divorce a year ago. He's currently out of state training for the month and doesn't have phone access. While he's been away, I began developing unusual vaginal symptoms and decided to go get tested. I tested positive for a treatable STI. I know he cheated recently because I had a normal pap 2 months ago that showed I was clean, but now I'm testing positive, and yes, we have had unprotected oral sex. In the past, I would act emotional and cry to him about how I'm so hurt, but since I'm watching your videos, I want to respond the Deb way when he gets his philandering ass back from training. What can I do, Deb? I really thought this guy had potential, and to find out he's a cheater is a real bummer. He was the one who requested we be exclusive anyway. Of course he did. Of course he did. But you were supposed to say no, it's too soon. Girlfriend, come on now. You've been watching my videos and you should know you don't you don't never commit to no motherfucker in a month. You don't do that. You don't even know. You barely know his middle name. He ain't married or living with nobody. He's a hoe. He's in the service. They fuck everything. So what you have to do is, he doesn't have any phone access. Does he have email? I guess send him an email. And what you need to do is screenshot that test result, right? You can do it with your phone. And then, it'll make like a picture, right? And then you email it to his ass. Because whether he has phone access or not, I'm sure they have email in the ship or wherever he is, getting training. Because in Hawaii, it's the Navy primarily. So I'm sure they have internet access in their library, some central place where they can all take turns checking their email. And you send him that. And then you say, do not ever talk to me again, you nasty diseased dick motherfucker. That's what you say. Because, see, this is my concern. Like this was treatable, it could have just as well not been. Okay, then what would you have done? So you got to think like that. He gave no fucks about putting his nasty fucking mouth somewhere it didn't have no business being if he's supposed to be committed, and then coming and putting it on you to spreading that fungus and disease and bacteria and viruses or whatever the fuck it was to your body without a care in the world. So he don't give a shit about you. So you talking like, see, what he wanted to do was lock you down. He's probably done the same thing with 3 or 4 other women. So each one of them is only fucking him, but he got his pick of, pussies he gonna jump in and out of. That's how they typically do it. And that's why they be trying to get you to commit to them so quickly. But you as a woman, you're supposed to say, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep my options open until I decide that you or whoever else I'm seeing is the right man for me. So, And you don't have, you don't do unprotected anything with some man if you are dealing with other dudes too. They have dental dams. I don't know, what the cost is currently or whatever. Y'all got to do better about protecting yourselves, because I'm trying to tell you, just like it would, it was that, it could have been something else that might not have been as treatable. So you got to think about that. You got to protect your body. It's the only one you're going to have the rest of your life. And you don't want to cut your life short over some dick. Okay? Don't do that. Now, when these dudes start talking about they want to be exclusive, like I said, you are supposed to tell them no. You tell them no. I don't want to do that because I don't really know you yet. I don't know what I would be committing to. That's how you put it. And, I want to make sure that when I do commit to somebody, that we're right for each other. And right now, I don't have that kind of confidence, so I won't be doing that. I don't really know you well enough. And then you don't fuck him either. Make him prove himself as a man to you. I'm like, oh my God. It's really unfortunate. That happened. So it was 2 months ago. So that means this was, yeah, within the last 2 months, all has happened. This nasty motherfucker. Yeah, he was. He was messing with Jackie. Yeah, he did go down on somebody. Otherwise, he wouldn't have got the shit in his mouth, girl. Come on now. She said they had unprotected oral sex. So that means she used protection on the genital sex. So the only way that she would have been able to for him to transmit this thing to her vagina would have been through saliva in his mouth. So that means he was putting his mouth on somebody else, and the bacteria was all still in his mouth. He's a carrier. So that's what you do. But be sure to take that picture of your test results. That's always a good one because it's irrefutable evidence. They can't say it's wrong, you misconstrued, that's not really what happened, blah, blah, blah. And if you have the results from your prior test, you can do that too. Do the comparative analysis. Before, nigga. So it's BN. After nigga, AN. And then send that to him and tell him to keep his diseased dick somewhere else and his old funky ass bacteria laden lips. Nasty fucker. All right, let's move on to letter number. So hopefully that will work for you. That's what I would do. Question number. Oh, that was number 6. Question number 7. Me and my fiance have been together for 2 years. His baby mama expects him to still do everything for her. When it comes to the child, I have no problem at all. But I do have a problem when it comes to her. He gets the baby every weekend and sometimes during the week. But when she moves, she expected him to help her move because, quote, that's where his daughter is going to be. I wasn't okay with it, but I told him to go ahead and help her. Okay, that was nice. Well, the other day she calls him and wants him to help her put up a new bed she bought for herself. Once again, she says, well, where do you think your daughter sleeps? I told him I had a problem with that because she has a 13-year-old son that could help her. Well, she got mad and started messaging me when he told her no. She said it was his place to help her with whatever she needed help with. Am I in the wrong for feeling like if it doesn't have anything to do with the daughter that he shouldn't be helping her? Why does his baby mama think her ex should still do everything for her? Because she don't have a new nigga. If she had a new nigga, then she wouldn't be calling him. So he did, I'm glad he told her no, because see, this was going to be her trick. Oh, put up the bed. Oh, well, now let's test it out. Lay down here with me. And then that would have been, that. And then she would have had something to tell you. Well, he came and put my bed together. And then, we tried it out. And then this is what, then one thing led to another. And then this and that. And that's what that's what she's trying to do. But, this is a tricky situation because really, he shouldn't even have to bring this to you. See, he's supposed to say, hell no, I'm not coming over to put together a bed for you, bitch. You don't get the nigga that you fucking to put your bed together. Click. That's what he's supposed to do. You should have never heard about this. So he's having some problems with these boundaries. Helping her move, that's one thing. I'm not too clear on that either, but it would have been better for him to go down to, Home Depot and hire a couple of them dudes to be hanging out there to go over there and help her move and remove it. He would still help her because he would have paid for it, but he wouldn't physically be in her presence doing it. You see what I mean? But the help would have been provided, which is, all that really mattered. Was she gonna have help moving? Whether he physically did it or he got somebody to do it and paid him to do it, this help would still be there. That's what I'm saying. So he had an option that he did not avail himself of. But for this thing about putting together, he's supposed to help her all the time. He needs to learn how to say no. Hell no, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. All this kind of stuff. No, to put up some very strict boundaries with her so that she doesn't think that she has the right to be calling him like this. I don't know what the hell is going on with him. Um, I think it's time for you to have a sit down conversation with him and ask, why is it that he is so hesitant about telling her no and being very firm about these boundaries to protect his relationship with you from her? I would just be asking him that. And depending upon what he says, you're going to have a decision to make. Because if he gives you any kind of really, really wishy washy answer, you need to send him back over to her house to be with her and with his daughter and that 13-year-old boy and get him out your face because he's tripping. But he's supposed to say, I see what you mean. I'ma do better. You right. That's what you want to hear from him. Like, I didn't think of it that way. Cause she be hitting me up with stuff about my daughter, so I, be conflicted. But you right. I want to hear some stuff like that coming from his mouth. And if you hear anything other than those sentences, then you got a problem, and he's torn between where he wants to be. In which case, you remove his choice because you eliminate yourself from that equation and send his nigga ass on over there somewhere where he belongs, dealing with her and her bullshit. Yeah, I hate that baby mama stuff. Ugh. You know, that just sends me to the moon. I don't like it. I don't like no bitches calling my house. I don't want to hear about it. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your kid. I don't give a fuck about you. I just don't you to eat shit and die. That's me. I just gives no fucks. And so it's like, that was your problem. You shouldn't have fucked the nigga then. You wouldn't have had no nappy headed little ugly baby. But now you got one. Why is that? What you want? He's paying child support. Bitch, go somewhere with yourself. See, as you see, I would not do very well with that situation. Luckily, I'm too old for all that now, but even when I wasn't, I still didn't want to be bothered. Okay, question number 8. Oh, Lord. I caught my husband cheating. He now wants to stay friends with the woman via Facebook. This means that she can private message him, which I am totally against. My hubby says he gives me 98% of his time and thoughts, and if they text this woman to him, it's a mere 2% he's taking away from me. Obviously, this isn't acceptable. I told him I deserve 100% of everything, time and attention. He told me I only focus on the bad 2% and not the good 98%. Oh, this nigga got tricks. What can I say to him? It's obviously a true statement. I'm hyper focused on that 2%, but I can't come up with a comeback or explanation. Okay, this nigga think he's Slick Willie. He gonna be coming up with all these little fanciful spins on words. Your IQ must not be too high, girlfriend, that you get tripped up on some bullshit like this. Oh yeah, he is super fire. This is funny to me. But of course that's why I'm here, because I have to help people who don't really understand what they supposed to do and how they supposed to handle men. Okay, so you basically telling me that he doesn't see this as being a problem, which to me means he doesn't give a damn about you, and you need to understand what time it is. And all you have to really do, you don't need a comeback. What you call it? I can't come up with a comeback or explanation. You don't need to explain anything to him. He already knows. He's playing games with your head. You don't need to have a snappy comeback or something that I might throw back at him. You don't even need that either. What you need to do is sit down and decide if this is the kind of marriage that you want to have. Did you sign on to have a marriage where your husband's attention is being split? I don't give a fuck if it's 1/10 of 1%, where his attention is being divided between some other bitch and you as his wife. See, that's all you have to think about. And if the answer to that is no, then you need to throw your whole marriage and your whole husband away and tell him to write that bitch and tell her to come and get him and all his shit, because you're done. Now, you don't let any man sit in your house using up your electricity, you cooking for him, cleaning for him, doing his laundry, sexing him and everything, and he's going to be treating you and talking to you like this. I would have boxed his head I would have beat him upside the head with something, a chair or some other blunt object, talking some shit like that to me. I'm gonna show you 2%. You're gonna have 2% of your head on still after I finish beating you. So this dude, he thinks he's really slick. I'm trying to tell you. I mean, really think about it, ladies. What kind of woman can feel secure and stable in a relationship like this? How are you gonna feel somebody doing this kind of nonsense? And it's supposed to be someone that loves you. No, you know this 2%, and you only focus on the bad 2%. Wow, there should be no bad 2%. If you're a committed husband, there's no bad 2%. There's no bad 0.2%. There's no bad anything. You're focused on your wife, especially after you cheated and already fucked over. You're supposed to be doing extra to get back on the good in her good graces, not telling her that she needs to, continue to share you with the bitch that you could. Uh, Cheated with. So your marriage, honey, is over. That's basically what it is. I mean, unless you want this kind of thing here and you call this a marriage, I call this some straight bullshit. But that's all up on you. Personally, I would throw him, like I said, throw him and the whole marriage away, and that would be the end of that. And after I beat him upside the head with something, he ain't gonna leave without no knots on his head just for GP. Ooh wee. Yeah, I don't know if she even had any pride. Oh yeah, no, you get half, and hopefully he would understand that you get half, and hopefully his ass would still be as attractive to some other bitch when he only had half the shit that he has right now, because you gonna take half, and you deserve half. That's what wives get is half. So I hope he's happy. Well, he gonna be like half broke. All right, question number 9. Well, yeah, she's kind of like I'm saying. I don't think she's that sharp. You know what I mean? She got confused by this 98% 2% word game he was running on her. That's some simple like fifth grade bullshit. She's supposed to call him on that right away, you know. But she didn't, and so she was confused by it, and that's how she's not the sharpest pencil in the box. But that's okay. Just throw the whole marriage and throw the whole husband away because he's not anybody that you should want to be bothered with anymore. Question number 9. This is a woman 26 to 34 age group out of Florida. She says, Deb, I'm sort of new on the dating scene after being by myself for a long time after a divorce. The dating landscape has completely changed since I last did this. One of the things I heard on your channel is that women should have a spare and a pair, dating multiple people at the same time, even if you're only interested in one person. I realize the benefits of this, such as not falling too hard, too fast for someone, keeping your options open. But I'm having a hard time with the basics. I was wondering how to work some of the rules of dating multiple folks. I thought I explained all that. Maybe not. Like when someone asks me out for a certain day and I have dates lined up already, what do I say? I feel like if I just say I have plans that day but can on this day, it just sounds so obvious that I'm dating others and it makes me feel disingenuous. I was wondering if there's a better way to word this, or do I want to make it obvious that I'm dating others? Do I explicitly point out that I'm dating others? Okay, that was number 1. Number 2, I'm also wondering what do you do when your week is full? I had someone ask me out and the next available day is Friday. Is that too far in advance? Should I just make plans a few days into the future? Should I leave it vague until the day gets closer? Oh my gosh, she's just doing too much. Number 3, what if I decide I don't like someone and don't want to see them? If I don't want to disappear, but what do you say in that case? I realize these are silly questions, but I'm not adept at dating a bunch of people at once. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'd like to continue because I do think it is helping me not fall too quickly about one particular guy. I just would appreciate to know how those of you who do that handle it. Okay. Well, I don't know how they handle it, but I'm gonna tell you how I do. All right. Let me go back to your questions. Okay, when someone asks you out for a certain day and I have dates already lined up, what do you say? You say, I'm sorry, I'm unavailable that day. I'm busy. I already have plans. Uh, but I'm available. And then you could either provide him with some options, or when you are available, say, well, but I'm free on blah 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 and blah blah. They give him some choices because you don't know what's on his calendar as well, and then he can either pick one or he cannot. I mean, big whoop de doo, because you got two other people in the rotation, so you don't give a fuck what he does. You see what I'm saying? You're not all wrapped up in it, and so your emotions aren't tied to whether he can see you or not. Whereas if you only dating one dude, women be like hyperventilating, trying to hope the guy calls them to spend some time with them. You don't have to do all that. Okay, so that's what you say. You're just busy. I mean, like you have other, just like if somebody's like, you call to get an appointment at your doctor, right? You can't, they tell you, say, well, I want to come at blah, blah, blah day. And they tell you, oh, we're sorry, the first available appointment is blah, 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 blah. Okay, I mean, what's the difference between that and somebody calling you trying to get an appointment with you? It's the same shit. So it's like you don't say appointment though, but you say, the first available time that I'm free is blah, blah, blah. It's the same thing. Nobody gets bent out of shape when they call the doctor or some lawyer or anybody other professional business where you have to make an appointment to get some time on somebody's books. A cleaning service, a janitorial service, a massage. I mean, all of those things. Your hair done, your nails done. You either sit there and you wait at the nail shop or you make an appointment. So it's like everything that has anything that involves another person's time, you have to make an appointment and you do it around the schedules that they have open. So you're not thinking about this in the correct term. You're feeling like it's some kind of something extra associated with it because it's a dating situation, and it's not. It's exactly the same. Okay, so it seems as you say, it just sounds so obvious that I'm dating others, and it makes me okay. Well, why do you feel like you need to keep it a secret that you're dating other people? I never said keep it a secret. I mean, you don't have to go into it like, bragging about it or nothing. Like, yeah, hi, my name is Deborah, and I'm seeing other people. That's not how you do it. But if they say, well, are you seeing someone? You say yes. I have some casual things going on. I'm investigating some opportunities and options while I try to find the person who I think is right for me. But it's nothing serious. That's how you say that. So you let them know if they ask. A lot of them won't ask. So you don't need to volunteer information. Never volunteer information. That's the number one rule of life. Don't volunteer shit. All right. Um, or do you want to make it obvious you're dating others? Do I explicitly point out that I'm dating others? You just do just what I said. If they ask, you don't lie, but you don't need to tell them details. And don't be talking about who you see, what day, how old they are, where they live, their names, nothing. You don't give any personal information about the other men that you're seeing. Don't do that because some people are stupid. Okay, you say you're also wondering what to do when your week is full. The only next available date is Friday. Is that too far in advance? I don't know. That's up to him. I mean, he shouldn't be trying to ask you like out for the same day or the next day anyway. Shit, people are old and they have responsibilities and jobs and shit. Some people have kids. To get a babysitter and stuff. You can't just be popping up and thinking somebody's just gonna drop everything to jump out and run around the streets with you. You need to make an appointment. That means you schedule a date in advance. So if the next available date that you have is Friday, then that's what you're saying. Say, I'm sorry, I'm all, I have prior commitments. The first day I have available is Friday. Does that work for you? And he either says yes or no. If he says no, then say, okay, well, what works for you then? And then he'll say, then you look at your calendar, see if you got that day free. Then if so, you book it. If not, then you don't. Okay, so what if you decide that you don't? And no, you don't leave it vague until the day gets closer. You handle your shit like a G, like I just told you. So you give them an option. If you don't want to take none of the option, then say, well, I guess we'll figure it out at some point. But, so what else is going on with you? Casually just brush over it. Don't stay focused on it too long. If he says it doesn't work, he going to be mad. He going to be pouting and shit. Just ignore him and just talk about whatever you want to talk about. Some movie, some book, something that, you read on Facebook or something, some politician, something interesting and fun and distracting that shows that you're not really focused on what he's talking about and you're not tripping. Okay, that's how you got to do it. You got to run men like you got some kind of sense. Okay, then let's see. What if I decide I don't like someone and don't want to see them? Then you just tell them, I don't think this is going to work out. If you don't want to do that, then you just do the ghost. That's my personal favorite. You don't understand how to ghost somebody? There's a video that describes it very well, and I even admit that that's how I do things. And it's on the channel. Just go in there and search for ghosting, and you'll see it at the top of the channel page in the videos section. Click that part that says videos. It has a little search bar on the side. Type ghosting in there, and it'll pull up all the videos that have ghosting as a tag. And but the one I'm talking about has like this eerie cover that looks like, spirits and ghosts and shit on it, and it's called ghosting, and it tells you how to do it. And it's like, dudes know what that means because they do it to women all the time. Nobody want a big grand finale and a big speech and shit. It's just like, you just move on, you go on about your business and do something else. And if they ask you about it, say, oh, well, it didn't seem like it's really, nothing really jumping off here. So I moved on. I thought you did too. What's the problem? Cash. Question number 10. Oh my God, we still have three more. I have 13 letters today. I think this is the most that I've ever done. But I'm doing them pretty fast though. We're only an hour in. This will be all right. I don't know. It's like y'all be putting too much on it. It's just a man and it's just a date. It's no big deal. It's not like it's a job for $500,000 a year. Now, see, then I might have some concerns. But it's a nigga. I mean, it's like 50 million more of them. I mean, what? What are you tripping on? Okay, question number 10. This is a young woman, 36 to 45. Oh, well, I guess she ain't that young. In Atlanta, she says, hey, Deborah. Exactly. Leos don't explain. I was looking at the video I did yesterday where somebody was like, what did I just walk into? And I'm like, read the show description page. I'm not repeating myself, and that's my attitude. I'm gonna say it one time, and after that, you on your own. Either you understand it, you read about it, you see the cliff notes, you get the information from somebody else. I'm not gonna repeat myself 15 times. And I was like that with my daughter too. I tell you once. And after that, I'm gonna beat your little ass. Because it's like I already told you, you heard me, I know you heard me. So why should I have to keep repeating myself? So, I don't do that. I don't do it at work. I don't do it anywhere. I'm going to say it one time. You either catch it or you don't. All right. So she says, Deborah, I saw your video of Monkey Shines Monday pushing by men on straight single women. And I realized I need your advice on something that's been eating me up inside. Oh, my. Last year, I decided I needed a personal trainer. I joined a gym. I found a husband and wife team. Right away, I liked them. This year, they began working out with me one on one, alternating sessions instead of as a team. That's probably more efficient. They can make more money that way. While working out with the husband one day, he commented on my core strength, and I jokingly said I used to be a dancer. That pole action is the reason for this strength. Shh, don't tell anyone. And we laughed it off. Okay, too much TMI. Later that night, he called me and we talked about the workout session. But before we hung up, he asked me if the secret I told him earlier was true. I said, yeah, but that was years ago. He said, well, I have a secret too. I've slept with a man before. Oh my God. I was speechless. I clutched my pearls. No, I added that part. I mean, he went on to tell me how he is currently, and she put that in caps, sleeping with another trainer at that gym. I asked him if his wife knew, and he said, oh, hell no, this is a secret. He went on to tell me about the escapades and how it all began. He said he liked my personality and felt like he could talk to me about everything. The conversation lasted almost an hour. Yeah, I'm cringing too. She stayed on the phone way too long. He explained it all began because of a bet. He was playing video games with this friend. The friend said, if you lose, you suck my dick. If I lose, I suck your dick. He ended up winning, and the other guy sucked his dick. Of course he did. He lost on purpose. God, don't you? Men are so stupid. They've been sleeping around ever since. Since that conversation, I can't look at the wife in the face. I'm torn with guilt. I can't look at him in the face either. I'm disappointed that he would do this with his to his wife and family like this. I admired them as a strong black power couple. Now I'm just confused on how I should handle this situation. The wife is a sweetheart. She invited me to a Thanksgiving gathering at their home. I politely declined. I really don't need their services anymore, but before I leave, should I tell the wife? Should I do it anonymously or should I just walk away? P.S. I have an app that records all incoming and outgoing phone calls. Should I let the wife hear this conversation? As you can see, I have no idea how to handle this. Any advice you give will be much appreciated. Thanks, Deb. Wow. See, again on some Atlanta shit. I'm trying to tell you. Atlanta. Okay. First of all, since I worked in that particular field, I can tell you right now that what he did was totally unprofessional and inappropriate. It violates the standards of the client trainer relationship, which is a professional one where it's not like you have to have a license, but every certifying agency has a certain code of conduct that in order to have that certification from that certifying agency, you agree to adhere to. I don't know what his, NASM, ISSA, ACE, whatever agency he got, those are the top three. Um, Dude violated the code of conduct for his certification thing, which would trigger them to revoke his certification. Now, what you were supposed to do, okay, you were the one who started the bullshit by talking about you being a stripper. What the fuck did you say that for? That was inappropriate conversation. Why? It's like some titillating bit of gossipy shit that you didn't need to even say. You got your trainer you in a business relationship with this man, talking about you stripping, taking off your clothes and shaking your ass in front of a bunch of people. Whether it was a long time ago or not, that was inappropriate thing for you to say. And at this age, you should have known better. 36 to 45 and you still acting like that? This the loose lips thing? That was wrong. Okay, this is a man that you're doing business with and you know he's married. Why are you sitting up there talking about some shit that you did as a stripper? Inappropriate. Okay, so you got the ball rolling. So then the next thing he picks the ball up. He running with the ball downfield. So he picks up the phone because he want to see how amenable you are to some freak shit, right? And you pick up the phone and you keep talking to him. You say right here the conversation lasts for an hour. Why did your ass not hang up the phone? What you were supposed to do is say, I may have made a mistake by telling you about, my past and this and that, and I apologize for that. That I shouldn't have done that. That was wrong of me. But what I'm going to do right now is hang up because what I want to do is maintain our professional relationship. I don't want to hear anything about anything that you're doing behind your wife's back. That's inappropriate conversation for our client and trainer professional business relationship. We're not friends. We're business. We're doing business together, and you're crossing all kind of lines here. I admit I did too, and so we're both wrong. But we're gonna fix this right now and stop this conversation. I'm gonna hang up, and please don't ever say anything like this to me again, and don't consider sharing any secrets that you keeping from your wife with me. I'm really not down with this kind of stuff. That's what you were supposed to say to him. You can establish yourself as a woman who's got her shit together and who has some values and morals and respects a wife in her marriage. But that's not what you did. You sit there holding the phone. You listening, asking questions and shit. Just all up in the mix. This whole thing here is a bunch of messy ass nigga bullshit. That's what this is. And you say you respected them as a husband and wife team. I'm not seeing where that's being reflected in this conversation in the way that you handled this. I'm not seeing respect here. There's no respect for this woman. You're supposed to shut that shit down. And that's not what you did. So what would you do at right now? You cease and desist any and all contact with them. Close your membership out of that gym. Get a membership at a different gym and never see those people again. You don't need to involve yourself any further in those people's marriage. Don't you erase that recording. Don't you dare send shit to that woman. Don't you say nothing to that man. You shut your mouth. Okay, because like I said, you started the shit. So it's nothing you can be acting like you all so innocent here and don't have, no involvement in this shit. You started it. You did that. So you're gonna erase that recording as soon as you hear this video, and you're gonna cancel your membership at that gym, and your ass is gonna disappear from these people's lives. That's what you're gonna do. I'm so pissed right now. This is just just ridiculous. You're too old for this. You are too old for this. I keep hearing this stuff from women who are too old to be acting like this, and it is embarrassing to me that you all are in your 30s and 40s and still acting like this. Yeah, I never talked to my trainer on the phone. Never. Unless he had to call me to tell me he had to cancel an appointment or change my appointment or ask if I could, do something like that, with my schedule. Never. And with my clients, same thing. You have to keep strict boundaries between you want to be friendly with them during their session.
And sometimes, they might invite you to an anniversary party or birthday party for their kid or something, some little shit like that. They mean they love you. They want to socialize with you. That's fine. But as far as talking about their sex lives and, anything like that kind of stuff, my sex life, and that, no, you don't do that. There's nothing like that. That's totally inappropriate. Yeah, it was trifle, all kind of trifling shit going on. I'm telling you, I'm never going to Atlanta again. That shit might be flying through the air. Trifling bullshit might hop on me. Mm-mm. Oh, this is so disappointing. Well, she said she has an app that's on her phone that records it, but I mean, whatever. Delete that shit. Just delete it. And trying to, be messy. Should I tell the wife? What would make you do that? You gonna tell her about your ass telling her husband that you strip? I mean, you know what I mean? You gonna tell it all. Tell about the shit you did and how you started the shit. I'm just like, just eliminate this whole situation from your life. Let's move on here. Question number 11. I've been dating a 48-year-old man on and off for 4 years. I just turned 40. The reason why it is off sometimes is because of the lack of boundaries. Oh, here we go. His ex-wife is always in the picture, plus a huge amount of disrespect from the 15-year-old, etc. We are thinking about working through the issues at hand, and then I come to find out that he has planned a family trip for him, his ex-wife, and his two kids. The children are 17 and 15, and this year is her senior trip / spring break. I was pretty shocked to find that out and felt uncomfortable to say the least. This woman is at all family functions, Mother's Day, Christmas, etc., and it's super weird to me. I do like that they get along, but I sometimes wonder why they are divorced. It's like they're best friends. There are even daily phone calls just talking about random stuff. Even while I'm on vacation with just him, she still calls. I guess I really need to hear what. Wait, I need to hear to see. Okay, this was some. If this is normal, I need to understand it, I guess. Okay. Again, another one. Too old for this simple bullshit. It's like y'all don't have no kind of self-esteem, no kind of boundaries. You just accept any old shit at all from these men just to say you in a relationship. Okay, even the fact that their divorce shows, again, just like in the other letter, this man heart is still with his ex. Okay, he's planned a trip for them, a quote family trip with his ex and his kids. Okay, but he's supposed to be dating you. Are you going on a trip? If you ain't going on a trip, then you need to understand what time it is. This is a situation where he's trying to get back to with her, but he's just using you for sex and a companionship in the interim. That's what that is. Okay, you need to understand. That's why she's at every event because he invites her. He wants to make sure he's there so he can see her, so they can pretend like they're still a family. And see, you dumb. And so you just going along with it like, oh, why is she here? Oh, they're friends. I wonder why they got a divorce. Okay, and daily phone calls, and he takes the calls, and you sitting right there. He's talking to some other woman, and you still sitting there like that's okay. I would have snatched that phone and threw it in the ocean or something. Talk to the bitch now, motherfucker. But but even all that's not necessary. I still would have done it though because I have a bad temper. But I could see her. Let me rewind. Okay, I could see her being at family functions if the kids were very little. Little toddlers, preschoolers, or whatever, even grade schoolers, where they can't drive, they can't take the bus by themselves. This kind of thing. And she is, the grandparents, whatever, ask her to bring the children to this thing or whatever. Okay, but she might want to be because you know how we know about these weird ass uncles and cousins and stuff. So sometimes it's good for the mama to still be there to supervise what's going on with her kids. So even though they might be old enough for her to drop off and leave, I'm not so sure that's a good idea. And I'm saying this on the mother tip. You know what I mean? This all had nothing to do with the relationship. I'm talking about being there to protect and watch over your children as the mom. So that I can understand. Okay, but now at 17 and 15, they can get there on their own, or the daddy can pick them up, or she can drop them off. They're old enough to fend for themselves, make phone calls, fight people off if they need to. You know what I mean? They have cell phones. They're big kids now. So it's not necessary for her to be there. She's there because they want her there. And that's what you need to understand. They want her there. The whole family wants her there. Otherwise, the people whose home it was the events at would tell him not to bring her because she's not welcome there. But they want her there. And you need to understand what time it is. This relationship is wasting your time. You've been dealing with him off and on for 4 years because of the lack of boundaries. You say that should let you know you got to do all this work and stuff to get a relationship that you're just dating off to with a man that's in love with another woman. You tripping. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You wasting your time. Oh, Boo Boo the fool. I don't know. She probably got a T-shirt. I'm telling you, it's like these women are over 35 and they just acting stupid. I just don't get it. Okay, we on question number 12. I want to tell you all, this is the most questions I've ever done on What the Fuck Tuesday. Because usually at, 8, 9, 10, I'm like, oh, that's enough. Bye bye. So this is a lot. Okay, this lady is female. She's 28 and she's from Michigan. She's like, I have been getting to know a guy over this past month. We were going to restaurant plays, hockey games, and I have met some of his friends. We are attracted to each other and kiss frequently. He calls me beautiful, smart, and he's lots of fun. Lately, he has said he's super busy and hasn't been able to get together much. We do talk and text every few days. It seems he's making excuses to avoid going out. He talks about spending time with coworkers after work and a platonic female friend. We used to do a lot together, but I feel I have been benched for some reason. He can't find even one evening free from me. He has significantly decreased our time out together. I do have my own friends and see them twice a week, so it's not like I'm putting my life on hold for him. But when a guy dramatically lowers your outing frequency, does it mean he's on his way out? I tried to ask the reason. His only answers were, I'm super busy or I'm so tired. Absolutely. He's giving you the let you down easy routine. You said you've only been kicking it with him for a month, so it's not like he's your boyfriend. It's somebody that you met. You guys went out a few times. You went to these restaurants. You're attracted to each other. You kiss frequently. All this stuff. I'm taking it that he tapped that a couple of times during that month. And okay, now he's figured out what you all about. Satisfied his sexual curiosity. He's on about his business. Now, whoever this platonic female friend is, that's who he wants. That's why he's telling you about her. Because otherwise, he wouldn't have told you about her. So, what you need to do is stop responding to his texts, stop responding to his call. Don't text him and don't call him and just ghost his ass. If he, decides to call you, just, do like the thing on my phone. You just like, shoot. If you swipe to the left, it just hangs up the call, sends it to voicemail. You can go on your phone, you can block that number. And, Verizon, they had that rude ass little voicemail message. So this party is not accepting calls from this number. If you want to, you could do that. I don't know if you have Verizon, but Verizon's rude as fuck. They just don't give a shit. That's why it's the perfect phone company for Deb. They gives no fucks. They just straight tell you, ain't nobody taking your call, motherfucker. That's what I really wanted to say, but they don't have that option, so they do the polite one. Yeah, he's probably trying to make a comeback. They try to do that, but you just um you decide that. And he's like, you don't want to be on some man's yo-yo. So you just, send him on his way. Okay, and here we go. The last question of What the Fuck Tuesday. For now, for those of you, let me put this in here, who want to submit a question to the channel for consideration in on What the Fuck Tuesday. Um, I'm putting the information for how you can do that. Or go to and we have an option here. You can submit your question in written form, or you can record a little video on your form and just upload it to my server. And I can answer your question in video form. I had a couple of those a couple of weeks ago, and that was kind of fun. It was different. So just take your choice, which the written form or the video question, whichever one you think is easier for you, and then we'll consider putting it on the show. Most of the time, most of the letters do make it through, but there are some that are so particularly about one situation that it doesn't have very wide appeal, so those don't make it onto the air. But if it's something that we feel is
it happens enough in the dating world that if the response will help a lot of different people, then those are the questions that we pick, just to let you know. Okay, question number 13, the very last one of the day. This young lady is 21 to 35, age group out of Jackson, Mississippi. She says, my boyfriend casually mentioned that he has something he wants to tell me but can't until around Thanksgiving. I hate it when he does this and then tells me he can't tell me. And usually but usually I can get him to tell me, but this time he refuses. He knows how much I hate it when he does this. I suspect it has something to do with his family. I think his sister's pregnant and was asked by her or his mom not to tell me and just keep it in the family. I am offended because if my brother had a girlfriend or wife and she was pregnant, I would immediately tell my boyfriend, even if they told me to just keep it in the family. Heck, I would tell him pretty much anyone's secret as long as it didn't hurt the other person. Okay, we're going to come back to that. I feel like a total outsider with his family, and this makes me feel even more so. It also makes me question our relationship because my ideal relationship would be no secrets at all. I possibly could be overreacting a bit, you think? But I think that even when at slash if I finally become family, he will still hide things from me that his family tells him to keep a secret, but everyone else in the family will know. I feel this way because he has two sisters and a mom, and things have been really weird between us since we are becoming more serious in our relationship. I feel like they're trying to create a wedge between me and my boyfriend. But even he has mentioned that his mom has been acting that way, and his sister immediately told him she thinks he's not spending enough time with the family. Uh, I do not feel like talking to him, and I told him I am upset by this, and he still will not tell me. I realize it may be something small, but maybe this is me being tired of the family games, drama, and secrecy. Do I have a right to be offended? And have you ever heard of anyone going through something similar? No, you do not have a right to be offended because you're just a goddamn girlfriend. Stay in your lane. Stay in your fucking envelope and understand what your role is here. You ain't married to him. You ain't family. So anything that his family decides not to tell outsiders, he has every right not to tell your ass. You confused. You stepping all outside your box. Just all up in his face about some shit that he needs to tell you. And the fact that you would spread some shit that people told you to keep in your family to the outside, it shows your ass can't be trusted. I wouldn't tell your ass shit. And nobody in your family, know, if they know that this is you, they should never tell your ass anything because you tell everything. You tell everything. So, people tell you something in confidence. A person who has some sense of integrity maintains the confidence. Otherwise, they wouldn't have told you if you said, oh, well, yeah, if you tell me, I'm going to tell everybody whether you told me to tell them or not. I'm going to still tell it because I just want to tell everything that's all everybody's business because I can't keep my goddamn mouth closed. See, you tell some people the reality of that, they're not going to tell your ass shit. So here you are, like, even if they told me, I would still tell it. That's wrong. That's a straight violation. You don't have no kind of sense of loyalty to your people at all. This is terrible. Now, you all on some conjecture. You say, I suspect that it has something to do with his family, but you don't know what it is. It could be that he's getting a promotion. It could be that he's going into the service. It could be that he's going to start a new job. It could be that he's going to get a big bonus and y'all going to go on a weekend trip or something. You don't know what it is, but somehow in your mind, you don't work yourself all up into this thing about what it could have, should have, maybe, might possibly be. Getting mad about some shit that you created, a whole scenario in your head. You have no facts about any of this stuff that you get mad and have an attitude with him about, and mad at his sisters and bringing up all kind of ancient shit. You were the most immature little young bitch I've ever seen in my fucking life. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. 21 to 35. You must be barely 21 because this is just ridiculous. I just never seen no shit like this. This whole letter, look how long this shit is. This is single space and it goes over to this page, this much on the second page. Okay? And all of it is in her mind. They probably, I suspect, it may be, possibly, kind of, I think, I feel. None of it is based on any facts. Now, see, I don't tell, well, she unemployed. She's something wrong with her. And, it's like they trying to drive a wedge in our relationship and stuff. You putting too much on it. You dating this motherfucker. You ain't married to him. You're not engaged to him. Nothing. You ain't even living with him most likely. But it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Blood is thicker than water. And so, of course, he's going to be tied to his family. That's just the way it is. And you just deal with it. You work with it.
A lot of men, they get really torn or they'll separate from their family, but that's the choice that he has to make. You don't try to force it on him. And you definitely don't try to force it on him when your ass ain't even his wife. And it's like the way that you act, they wouldn't want you to be his wife because you don't act right. You got an all fucked up attitude. And so you're gonna bring that fucked up attitude and affect their brother and their relationship with their brother and son, be acting a fool like this. They're not gonna want him to marry you. They're gonna be running interference on that like 9,000. You can bet. And if I was a sister, I would straight be telling them too. That bitch is stupid. You need to leave her ass alone. Yeah. She just acting stupid. Just doing too much. You know. Now the man said that he would tell you on Thanksgiving. That's what, a week away. So what is all this angst? You got to be acting a fool about it. Some shit you can just wait 6 or 7 days and find out what it is. He might need that time to finish preparing whatever the surprise is. Now I do fault him for telling you. He shouldn't have told you, because especially if he knows that you hate it. But see, that just shows both of you are young and stupid. But that's what he did. And but for you to drag in, because he did that, his mama, his two sisters, his whole family, all this shit, 5 paragraphs full of bullshit based that you created in your imagination. This is some amazing stuff. This is amazing to me. But anyway, I'm done with that. That just makes no sense to me. I don't know what she is. She just crazy. That's what they call somebody with a bad understanding. They talk about sisters with a bad understanding. She definitely is in that category. I just don't. Yeah, his family wouldn't like that. That's just too much drama. Even if they are not really liking you that much, have you ever heard of the phrase about killing them with kindness? I'm not saying you have to be like, to give them shit and buy them shit and stuff like that. But I'm talking about you overlook stuff because you got to understand that especially if that's the only boy in the family, then they're gonna be more concerned about. He's got two sisters and him. He might be the youngest or something. Who knows? I don't know the lineup. But I mean, when a boy is the only boy and he's got sisters, they always are focused on him. That's their baby brother. You know what I mean? So it's like that's just the way it is. And you coming in, you're supposed to be trying to be friendly with them and make friends and bring them onto your team, not be looking at, starting a bunch of shit with them. So I'm not understanding your strategy. I hope it works for you. I doubt that it will. I think you're alienating his family more than you're drawing them in. And I don't think their plan is going to work too well as far as you getting into this man's family. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You're doing the most. So, whew. At least today, okay, I did 13 letters today, honey. This is a world record, which we will not be repeating anytime soon because that was just too draining. But this is what we do here on Tuesdays. All of you who are listening for the first time, when we go over advice letters that are submitted to my column, and I read them on the air. This is the first time I'm reading them, and then I think about it and I give out an answer. And that answer is based on almost 30 years of experience in the dating and relationships field. So I'm very qualified to, do this quick analysis and spit out an answer very quickly. It may not be necessarily the answer that people want to hear, but it's always going to be a real sharp and clear dose of reality. Okay? Yes. Yeah, she was kind of whack. I don't I don't know what was going on with girlfriend. I hope she gets herself together. But thank you guys for coming and sitting in with me. I'll be back on Thursday. I don't know what the topic is going to be yet, but we do topics on Thursdays. I have a lot of suggestions in from people, so I'll be picking one, and we will, get dig in here starting at 6 o'clock Pacific time on Thursday. Be here. Got any questions? Just write me at survivingdating@gmail.com. That's where you can also send your topic suggestions. I will see you all later. Bye.